Thank you ever so much for listening. You've heard the all-new Pat Gwynn at the Beach. Now tell a friend, like us on Facebook, visit our website, patgwynradio.com or patgwynatthebeach.com. Until next time, you take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and keep on gwinning.
Pat Gwynn at the Beach. Copyright and distributed by Cool Winds Entertainment Group, LLC, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Katie Benningfield, executive producer. Sean Ryan, engineer. In association with SRN Communications.
Oh, good. Oh.
Before our very eyes.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
I am the incredible man. I only do things incredible can. Cause I am the seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me. Cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you wanna be me instead of you. Cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
Forest City. First of all, Legendary Ford in Forest City is locally owned and operated by folks that live right here. Plus, they offer the best in service. You get service after the sale. Locals serving local folks just like you. That's Legendary Ford, 565 Oak Street in Forest City. Online at legendaryford.com. When you come to this year's Cleveland County Fair, be sure to drop by and see the display of Leonard Buildings and Truck Accessories. Check out their storage sheds and buildings, also cargo and utility trailers, and all kinds of vehicle accessories. Ask about the Rhino Steps, and be sure to check out the line of Eagle Carports and Lear Truck Cabs. Leonard Buildings and Truck Accessories, located at 1884 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, online at leonardusa.com, and see them at this year's Cleveland County Fair. Discover nature's generosity and community mercantile, where everything is crafted by local hands with love and purpose. From handmade soaps to handmade decor, every purchase supports our neighbors. And get ready, Craven Java and More Coffee Trailer is opening soon, serving coffee, tea, and honey, all sourced right here in the community. Every sip you take will give back to your local farmers, roasters, and makers. Shop local, sip local, support local at Nature's Generosity and Community Mercantile, 1074 College Avenue in Shelby. Our Cleveland County Fair broadcast reports are being brought to you in part by Classic Ford in Shelby. Come in now and check out the new car inventory. There's a great selection to choose from, including the new Ford Bronco and the new Ford F-150, with discounts of up to $10,000. Plus, Classic Ford in Shelby has a great selection of pre-owned certified vehicles with warranties, starting at $79.90. Classic Ford in Shelby, 1775 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, online at classicfordshelby.com.
You hear them pads going up. You hear them clicks going up. 704 beats by Alex J. Yeah. First and 10. We in the trenches. You like the water cooler. You be on the benches. Think your team better, but they lack skill. First snap, I leave your backs in the backfield. Your quarterback scared, I see it in his eyes. Sent the receiver in motion, that's just a disguise. My linebackers, they stepping up. Clog a hole, no letting up. Taking on no big blocks. On fourth down, we get big stops. My secondary is balling out. Your offense keeps stalling out. How many yards? Like none at all. Call the special teams, come punt the ball and it's gone. And you never see me fair catch. I get a block and then I'm gone like a Lear jet. My helmet on, jersey shining in them Friday night lights. Win, win, we just came to win. Win, win, we just came to win. Friday night lights. Friday night lights. Win, win, we just came to win. Win, win, we must protect this house. I'm in a huddle talking to the Hawks. We gonna run it down their throat soon as we get the ball. Come out and fire off the ball, we going on one. My skill position so proficient, break for long runs. Come out running that option, that mean I got the option to keep that or pitch that. Defense, they gotta fix that. 4 receivers, we spread them out in the shotgun. Hot reads, I got some. My tight end so awesome. Touchdowns, I toss some. We score 6, scoreboard, that score 6. Respect the ball, we protect the ball. We don't fumble, no throw picks. I feed my linemen pancakes, so all they blocks are pancakes. Push you around like all night. End of the game, get your handshakes, huh? My helmet on, pass strap tight. My jersey shining in them Friday night lights. Win, win, we just came to win. Win, win, we just came to win. Friday night lights. Friday night lights. Win, win, we just came to win. Win, win, we must protect this house.
And good evening. Welcome to another Friday Night Football here on KTC Broadcasting with Kevin Hastings, Brian Branch, and Ken Lincoln. Chip Carter will join us. And yes, JP, back from Disney. Did y'all miss me?
I don't know. Did we, Ken?
I don't know. Y'all probably didn't even realize I was not even here.
We didn't, JP. You're just this is news to us that you went to Disney. I didn't know anything about it.
I mean, the shirt. I think the shirt kind of gave it away.
I don't remember anything about it. For the folks listening on the radio tonight, WCSL 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, and 101.5 FM, 1390 AM. You do what JP's talking about. If you do want to see a big picture of him in a Darth Maul T-shirt he got from Disney this weekend, he's showing it loud and proud on our YouTube channel. This show's live every Friday night and in our shows here in the studio on our KTC Broadcasting YouTube channel. Just go to KTC Broadcasting on YouTube. Click the live button. There we are. You're listening to the Witherspoon Insurance of Shelby, Northwestern North Carolina football pregame show. We cover teams pretty much west of 77 for the most part, but our main teams are Gaston, Cleveland, Lincoln, and Rutherford counties and the conferences that they cover. So we cover 6 conferences, 48 teams. We've got, 6, 12, 18, 36 games on the scoreboard tonight we're going to talk about. We're going to go through those in just a few moments. But first, Ken and I are going to read last week's scores, remind everybody how the games went. So I'll get that up here in just a moment so me and Ken can read them. For the folks at home, like I said, are listening on the radio, you can watch the show live Friday nights here on KDC Broadcasting YouTube. They're on your smart TVs, on your smartphones as well, and everywhere else. You've got your smart stuff. So, all right, Ken, I'm going to pull these scores up here for us so we can see these a lot better. And then for the folks at home, these are last week's scores. I'm going to start with some of our broadcast. Burns over West Lincoln 47-19. RS Central 42-7 over Chase. Corvion 52-6 over Lincoln Charter. Shelby 51-29 over Kramer. Crest 48-0 over Forest View. East Lincoln 57-0 over Bunker Hill. Ashbrook 44-0 over North Gaston. East Gaston 42-12 over Bessemer City. Lincoln 56-0 over Highland. South Point 53-6 over Hunter Huss. Mountain Island 14-0 over Albemarle. Hickory 49-6 over North Lincoln. East Rutherford 30-0 over West Caldwell. North Stanley 23-6 over Jefferson. High Bryant 37-8 over East Burke. Patton 31-0 over Drone. Newton Conover 36-35, big winners over Bandy's last week. And Maiden 47-0 over Ford. Ken, can you see that screen?
I think I can.
All right, I'll let you handle the bottom.
Okay, Franklin 37-26 over Pittsburgh. North Henderson lost to Brevard 52-18. West Henderson 47-0 over East Henderson.
Tuscola 20-0 over Smoky Mountain. Ashe County 52-17 over Elkin. Allegheny lost 23-22 over Starmount. McDowell 35-19 over North Buncombe. Watauga 57-7 over Asheville Cougars. Polk County lost to Mitchell. Mitchell winning 39-7. Mountain Heritage 52-20 over Madison. Owing 43-15 over Avery County. Mooresville 10-3 over South Iredale. That's still in red. I guess it's probably finished by now, right?
That was 10-3. They're playing tonight.
Okay,
not 10-3. That's October 3rd.
Okay,
I don't know if they moved it or we just got it wrong.
Okay, but they're playing tonight. That game was not played last week.
Correct.
Charlotte Latin 42-0 over Langtree Prep. Community School of Davidson 28-21 over Christ the King. Lake Norman Charter 20-7 over Pine Lake Prep. North Rowan 59-0 over Bonnie Cone Academy. East Wilkes 27-9 over West Wilkes, and North Wilkes 33-7 over Wilkes Central.
All right, thank you, Ken. That was last week's ball games, and let's see if I can pull up last week's what that led to. You know, we had some movement and stuff. So in our power poll, how does that work? We give out points for victories, and you lose points for losses. Basically, whatever A the team is you're playing, if you beat them, that's how many points you get. So 2A, 2 points, 3A, 3 points, 4A, 4 points, and so forth. Reverse order, you lose points, but we go 0 for 8A, 1 for 7, 2 for 6, and 3 for 5, 4 for 4, and so on down the order. Last week's top, let's go through last week's top 10 so you'll know where the movers and shakers were after last week's games. We got some big games this week, Ken, to talk about because we've got three count on matchups in our local area in the top 10 this week. So we're going to break those down here in just a little bit. So here's last week's top 20. Shelby 20, Bandy's 19, East Rutherford 18, Chase 17, South Stanley 16, Christ the King 15, High Brighton 14, Lincoln 13, Crest 12, South Point 11, North Stanley 10, Kings Mountain 9, West Iredale 8, Maiden 7, Hickory 6, Kramer 5, Corvian 4, Huss 3, East Lincoln 2, and Ashbrook 1. So that leads us into this week's power poll. But it's not a poll. There's no opinions. It's just standings, folks. It's weighted standings. Another formula, a funny formula. All right, movers and shakers this past week. That's week 7. Let's see. I think that's right. Yep, movers and shakers this week, Ken. I'm going to give you some hints on who may have I'm looking at last week's. I can't give you hints looking at this week's and last week's, can I? There we go. Let me go back to this one. All right. Get Ken updated here. All right. Last week, let's see. We got Shelby with a big win, moved up some spots. West Iredale, let's see. Maiden almost cracks the top 5 this week. Hint, hint. South Point's big movers after their win last week. Kramer falls a ton of spots as well, so we're going to talk about that here in just a second. Just outside, like I said, we got 48 teams, folks, so we're going to go through our top 25 teams just outside the top 25 this week. Union Academy. That's last week, sorry. Terry would have been mad. Tom would have been mad, Ken, if I'd have read that one because Burns won and West was in front of him on that one. Let me pull up this week's. All right. Now outside the top 10, let me get that right. Jefferson at 30, West Lincoln 29, Ford 28, Forest View 27, and Lake Norman Charter 26. At 25, the Cherry Linemen have -3 power points. They're 3-2 on the season. They've given up 125 on defense. At 24, Community School of Davidson with -2 power points. They're 2-3 on the season. They've given up 100 on defense. RS Central's at 23 with -1 power point. They are 2-3, and they've given up 117 on the season. At 22 and 21, we got a 2-way tie with the Bandy's Trojans and the Burns Bulldogs. Burns wins the tie. They're at 21. Bandy's at 22. Burns 3-3. Bandy's 2-3 on the tiebreaker there. All right, Ken, you got the next row.
Okay, coming in number 20, Cross the King, 1 power point. Number 19, Chase with 2 power points. 18, Newton Conover with 6 power points, tied with Shelby, who gets the 17th spot with 6 power points. And East Rutherford coming in at number 16 with 8 power points.
Got to press my button. All right, Ken, at 15, the Kramer Storm fall from 5 to 15 after last week.
That's a pretty big drop.
Big drop. Well, that's just how the cookie crumbles there. South Stanley at 14. They got 10 power points. They're both 4-1. They win the tiebreaker there with 77 points, giving up on the season. High Brighton and Lincoln have both got 13 points. Lincoln wins the tiebreaker at 5-1 over High Brighton at 4-1. They both give up 99 on the season. Lincoln, do they play tonight? They got the night off tonight.
They play Bessemer City tonight.
They do got Bessemer tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe next week when they get – no, they got Shelby next week.
Got Shelby next week.
Then maybe they'll get a week off at some point. And at number 11, the Hunter Huskies, they fall all the way from 3 down to 11 after their loss last week to South Point. All right, Kenny, you got the next row?
All right, coming in number 10, Kings Mountain, the Mountaineers, 14 power points, tied with West Iredale, who gets the ninth spot with 14 power points. And actually, you got a 3-way tie, North Stanley with the 8th spot coming in with 14 power plants. North Stanley still undefeated on the season. Crest coming in with 17 power points at number 7, and coming in at number 6, Maiden Blue Devils, 18 power points.
Top 2 stay the same. We've got some movement. Top 5 new teams. Hickory's in the top 5 now. Now they got 20 points. Oh, sorry, JP. Yep, I got you now. Sorry. Movement in the top 5. I'll repeat what I just said. We've got new teams in the top 5, 2 new teams in the top 5. Hickory and South Point both jump up in the top 5. Now here's where the tiebreakers come into play. Kenny, South Point is, of course, they played one less game than Hickory, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they haven't had a chance to score as many points, but they have beat Hickory, and they're right next to them in the power poll. So they get the courtesy of jumping them in the poll, even though Hickory has 20 points and South Point only has 18.
Because of head-to-head.
Correct. So South Point wins the head-to-head on the tiebreakers, and they jump all the way up because they had the tiebreaker into number 4. Hickory will be number 5. Corvion has 20 points along with Hickory, but we'll see after this week what all is going on. And it'll all clear itself up here as soon as the buys roll through as well. So South Point does earn that spot. Maiden folks are right there on the edge of getting that spot. Let's see. Corvion is at 3. They move up after Huss fell. And East Lincoln is at number 2. Corvion's at 3 with 20 power points, and Hickory 2, and South Point all in there. See how far East Lincoln's got 30, and Ashbrook at number 1 has 35 power points on the season. So they've got a good lead, Ken. They could probably lose a couple and still be at number 1 right now, depending on who beats them and stuff. So they've padded their stats just a little bit. Now, after tonight, Ashbrook doesn't play tonight. I think if I did the math right, if East wins, they'll be 1 point behind Ashbrook on the season, and still Ashbrook will still have the spot. So those top 2 will not change despite what happens tonight. South Point will have a chance to claim. South Point and Hickory and Maiden and possibly Crest, depending on who wins and loses tonight, could have a chance to take over number 3 in the power point standings. Anything interesting there, Ken? You see the Shelby Going line slowly making their way up through there.
Yeah, and they'll continue to go up. Now, they're not playing this week, but big game next week at Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
As if Lincoln wins tonight, that would be for the conference lead.
Yeah, Steve's gonna be really mad, and the Shelby fans will be really mad at me next week if Shelby beats them, and they're still gonna be behind them in the power poll because of the way the schedule. Because Shelby's out of conference games.
Yeah.
That they lost.
Yeah.
And they're both playing this fairly whatever you call mixed week conference. So it's really those teams in that conference are really hard. Based on their schedules to play, because Shelby's going to play Crest and Kings Mountain. They do risk losing in those games, and so some teams don't and may play an easier schedule in the preseason. But anyway, that's I'm not saying anyone else on there is. I'm just saying it'll even itself out for you Shelby fans. Just if you keep winning, they went 0-3 one time and marched their way all the way to number one on this poll.
That can happen. And as you said, we got some matchups within the top 10 tonight. Teams playing each other.
All right, yes we do. We got 3 of them in tonight's game. We've got. Let's see. Ooh, I need to get that off the scoreboard. We've got a straggler here. Kenny over here acting like he's supposed to be on the screen. But anyway, we've got 3 games in the top 10 tonight. East Lincoln, number 2, at number 9, West Iredale tonight. Now, we'll have highlights. No, we will not have highlights or coverage of that game. So we'll get you anything we can online if we can find some highlights, anything we can. But we don't have anyone actually covering that game. We do, however, have someone at Maiden at Hickory tonight. So we're going to have highlights of that one in the post-game show, Ken. Big matchup for that, and talk to Ricky tonight after the game. So we will have highlights. That's number 6 at number 5. So like I said, we got big matchups. And then number 4 is hosting number 7. I'm sure we'll talk about this a little bit tonight. South Point at Crest Chargers tonight. We'll start there with our broadcast. South Point is at Crest tonight. You can listen to that on WHS 101.5, 1390 AM. All these at kdcbroadcasting.com. Burns at Kramer tonight. Burns fans, audio only. Go to your regular YouTube page, but it's going to be audio only in Gaston County. Bulldogs at the Kramer Storm tonight. We do, however, have video for our Lincoln County Game of the Week for the second week in a row, Kenny. They're at Newton Conover, and the folks at Newton Conover have been more than gracious to welcome us up there to broadcast tonight, and we're going to be live video tonight between the North Lincoln Knights at the Newton Conover Red Devils. So David Potter and Scott Tudor will have coverage of that, along with Gracie Webster, and I'm trying to remember who's up there. I think OJ or O'Brien. Or Simone. I think Simone might be at that game. Simone's up at Newton Conover tonight. Our other broadcast night on Wagyu will be Drawn at East Rutherford. All right, folks, you can find all those games on ktcbroadcasting.com. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to do predictions, talk more about the all of the games tonight and how you can listen and follow along here. We'll be right back. ktcbroadcasting.com.
Before you buy insurance, call and compare at Witherspoon Insurance in Shelby, featuring names like Progressive, National General, and State Auto. They do it all. Auto, home, life, health, commercial, motorcycle, RVs, golf carts, and indemnity bonds with low down payments. Call 704-480-9595 or drop by their office at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, right across from First Baptist Church. Serving Cleveland County since 1986. Online at WitherspoonInsurance.com.
Pfeiffer Cafe and Confections is the place to go in Uptown Shelby for a delicious lunch. They offer salads, sandwiches, burgers, soups, quiche, and more. Their in-house bakery has an extensive choice of desserts and sweets, including their October cute and spooky Halloween treats, Halloween cookies and fudge, Ritz Mummies, peanut butter chocolate ghost, and Oreo graveyard cakes. And their ice cream parlor makes the best milkshakes in town. Visit Pfeiffer Cafe and Confections at 116 East Warren Street. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. Friday nights, 5 till 8 p.m. You'll be glad you did.
For all your janitorial and cleaning supplies and disposable paper products, see Webb Chemical and Paper Company. You'll find great prices and great service, and they offer products in bulk. Family owned and operated for over 49 years. Their friendly, helpful staff will assist you with all your product needs. Webb Chemical and Paper is conveniently located at 2500 West Dixon Boulevard, Highway 74 West in Shelby. Stop by and see them or call 704-482-4331. Check them out on the web at webchemicalandpaper.com.
Sandy's Country Christmas at 2536 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby is the place to go for all your fall decor. Check out their huge selection of silk flowers and autumn leaves, fall yard signs, and wreaths, and fall lanterns too. Halloween is this month, and Sandy's is stocked up with Halloween scarecrows and skeletons, yard signs, witch hats, Halloween costumes and masks, outdoor Halloween lights, pumpkin pails, pumpkin carving kits, Halloween banners, and more. So shop Sandy's Country Christmas for frightening good deals. They're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6. Go check them out.
For over 60 years, through 3 generations, Hoyle Plumbing has been the reliable source for all your plumbing needs. Whether residential or commercial, our skilled technicians can handle your every plumbing issue. Rather tackle the job yourself Hoyle Plumbing has a parts counter well stocked and open to the public with knowledgeable people to answer any plumbing question you may have. Reach out to us today at HoylePlumbing.com. That's HOYLE plumbing.com. Your hometown plumber for over 60 years, Hoyle Plumbing is here for you.
Need extra storage? Check out the all-new Lock and Leave Self-Storage, located at 1855 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Rent now by calling 704-290-3939. It's easy. Just go to lock-and-leave.com or scan the code in this week's Shelby Shopper. Then find a unit and choose your size. Then just fill out your information and rent. It's that easy. The new Lock and Leave Self-Storage, 1855 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Again, for more information, call 704-290-3939.
Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, bases loaded, and 2 strikes. Now, that's a tough situation for any team. And not having your taxes done properly is a problem for you, too. That's when you call on Kimberly Spicer, CPA and public attorney. She has the team you can count on. She can assist you with your small business and your tax preparation. In Shelby, call 704-482-4358. And in Forest City, 828-245-8351. Kimberly Spicer, CPA and attorney. 214 North Morgan Street in Shelby and 118 East Main Street, Forest City.
3 minutes from 6 o'clock. We've got 71 degrees. And before we check back with the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show, we're going to head out to Cleveland County Fair for a quick report. Give us a report, guys. What's happening?
All right, we'll be glad to. You're right. We're at the Cleveland County Fair, 101st Annual Cleveland County Fair. Some of the people making this possible, this broadcast possible, include Whiskers, Nails, and Puppy Dog Tails, 336 Washburn Switch Road up in Shelby, Spiffy Duds. That's right, Spiffy Duds, like the stuff I wear. 8733 West Highway 10 in Vale. Also, Tent Daddy, 600 West Church Street in Cherryville. Deanna's Concessions, and they have a booth here at the fair, as does Sweet Sensations. They've got a booth at the fair. And Danny Blanton for school board, he's sitting right up there. I see him up there, so you can go by and talk to him. He's got a booth here at the fair as well. Now, we're going to let Dennis tell you about what's going on tonight, and before we check back with you.
I often wondered where you got them pants you wear at the beach show. It's at Spiffy Duds. That's right. Because they're spiffy. All right, folks. If you're coming out to the fair tonight, here's what's available for you. Of course, the gates are open now from 3 to 11. You've got the exhibit hall. It's open from 3 to 10. You've got the midway hours, so you can ride the roller coasters and the Ferris wheels and everything from 4 o'clock to 11 p.m. You've got Ron's favorite group that's here tonight, and that's the UBU band over there right in front of the Dorton Arena, right across from the WHS booth. Come by and say hello. You've got the Majestic Spectacular Thrill Show adjacent to Gate 14 from 6:30 and 9 for that. You've got the Magic of Lance Guilford and Company adjacent to Gate 14, and that's 5:30, 7, and 8:30 tonight. You've got canines in flight. Now that, Ron, as we've configured here, is the dogs are catching frisbees. And no, Ron's not involved in that. He throws a mean frisbee, but he don't catch them. And they're available there at Gate 14 tonight at 6 and 8. And we've got the Act Monsters chainsaw art behind Go Forth Hall, and he's there all week. If you come out here, he'll be there waiting on you. Now talking about food, we've got roosters, chicken, bacon, and French fries, buffalo chicken egg rolls, hot dogs and footlongs, ribeye steak sandwiches, fried dill pickles, funnel cake fries, corn dogs, chili beans, a rooster wrap, Frito pie, all kinds of burgers, liver mush, rooster legs, cheese curds, Philly steak sandwiches. I just had one and it was delicious. Hot wings, rooster on a stick, and BLT. And as you can tell, the band over there is playing a good old song by a Cleveland County girl, Alicia Bridges, just like she and I used to do up at Brackett Cedar Park back in our teenage years. Ron, let's go back to the studio. Take it away, Calvin.
All right, thank you there. We'll be back for one more report, maybe around 6:30. Then we'll let you guys go home. All right, let's send it back to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Back to you guys.
All right, good afternoon. Kevin Hicks here with Ken Link, Chip Carter. Brian's out this week, so Chip's got to do predictions this week, whether he knew it or not. But we've got 5 broadcasts tonight. Excuse me. We do have Drone at East Rutherford on Waggy, WAGY 107.5 FM, Rutherford County, 1320 AM. Here in Gaston County, around the area, here up in Lincoln County, and pretty much everywhere you can hear us on 92.9 FM right now, 1590 AM. West Lincoln Rebels and the Cherryville Ironmen renew their rivalry. I've got some stats on that one to read to here in just a little bit if you're interested. At North Lincoln, we'll be at Newton Conover tonight. Live video tonight. Live video at Newton Conover tonight. We got Red versus Blue, and the Knights and the Red Devils tonight. That'll be on LincolnCounty.com with David Potter and Scott Tudor. Tom Sinafani and Matt Royster's heading out to Kramer tonight to cover the Burns Bulldogs. And the Kramer Storm will have tweets from there. I think OJ will be out there, and of course Trent Marty on the roof taking care of everything for us. Thank you to you guys. South Point at Crest tonight. South Point at Crest tonight. I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about that tonight at some point. Either the guys here in the studios will be in a good mood tonight about 10 o'clock, or they'll be in a
they might not show up.
Mood. They'll be in a sad mood. We couldn't stop the option, Ken. We need to get Eeyore to say that in some AI or something. We couldn't stop the option. All right, well, guess what? It's about that time, folks. It's almost Pete's Fish Box time. That is our pregame meal sponsor. And, folks, it is Frog Leg Fridays. I know Brian is upset.
I'll eat your frog legs for you, Brian.
That's his thing. He loves the frog legs. We're going to order some of that here in just a little bit. If you're watching online, I'm showing you some of the wonderful plates here from Pete's Fish Box. And I'm going to let you know that they're at 116 West 1st Street here in Cherryville, Wednesday through Saturday, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., 704-802-4015. And they've got flounder, catfish, perch, Alaskan white, calabash shrimp, fantail shrimp, Chip's favorite, the deviled crabs. They got 2 and 3 item combos. Frog Leg Fridays are tonight, and for the little ones, folks, they got some of the biggest, fattest chicken tenders.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, I'm telling you, they are the chicken tenders are fantastic for the little ones that aren't. That some of the little ones don't like the fish. They got the Low Country broils.
Look at that plate. Look at that.
We've got hush puppies, fries.
Tastes as good as it looks, too, folks.
Yes, it does.
Don't lick the screen. Don't. I know some of you got some big television screens at home or watching, tuning in right now. There's just some shrimp and some catfish. The hush puppies are fantastic.
I'm starting to drool.
They got 2 different kinds of slaw, the white slaw and the vinegar slaw, so you can get either one of those. Tea as well, baked potatoes, and then, folks, what I always like to mention every week is how they have, the Cherryville special, which is the lot of fish, not the lot of burger. Pete's Fish Box, famous worldwide, lot of fish combo. You can get all the fish on the lot of burger style bun, flounder, perch, catfish, Alaskan white, and you can get a lot of shrimp sandwich. I don't know if either one of y'all have had a shrimp sandwich or not. Ever seen that?
I'm willing to try it. Shrimp, along with devil crab, shrimp's my go-to.
All those combos come with slaw, tartar sauce, choice fries, baked potato, or hush puppies. $12 for a lot of fish combos. A lot of fish only $7 if you just want the sandwich and not the fries and the sides. All right, there, guys. We're going to eat some of that here in just a minute. We're going to send JP out and go fishing here at Pete's Fish Box in just a few minutes. It's almost that time. All right, Chip's in the studio, so it's time for him to let you guys all know of this week's matchups. And I've already noted we've got 3 top 10 matchups tonight, Chip. Just fantastic tonight. East Lincoln at West Iredale play tonight. Maiden at Hickory tonight. And we've got a live broadcast tonight ourselves of South Point and Crest. We'll have highlights of the South Point Crest games and Maiden and Hickory games. All right, Chip, I'll let you take over for just a minute and read tonight's games, and then you guys can do what you do, I guess.
All right, good deal. Thank you. Well, good evening, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Looking forward to some Pete's Fish Box here in just a little bit. First of all, before I get to these games, I'm looking in that control room, and where are the blame mouse ears? Where are your mouse ears, JP?
I didn't bring my sorcerer hat.
And where's your lightsaber?
It's at home. I can show you a picture.
Okay, I guess we'll have to.
But I did wear this.
You could Photoshop a picture. Oh, very, very, that's good. Very nice. Very nice. That's a Dark Lord of the Sith T-shirt. That'll work there. Thank you, JP. Welcome back. Glad you made it back safely, pal.
Thank you, Chip.
Good man. So let's run through these games real quick, and Ken and I will start going through some of these predictions as well. Ken, I might have to lean on you. We don't have Brian here. Ken, you're going to have to give us the score prediction. I don't play that game very well. I can tell you who I think is going to win. But looking at what we got on tap, we got a lot of games broadcast and some videos that we'll have, as Kevin mentioned. We'll start on the right. We'll start on the right and go left here. So we got Corvian Community at Pine Lake Prep. Lincoln Charter takes on Langtree Prep. East Burke is at West Caldwell. West Iredell hosts East Lincoln. It's Bandy's at Fred T. Ford. Maiden travels up to Hickory to take on the Red Tornadoes. Albemarle heads over to North Stanley. Corvian Community School of Davidson is at Lake Norman Charter. The North Rowan Cavaliers head to South Stanley. It's Polk County at Mountain Heritage. Charles D. Owen welcomes Mitchell. And Madison travels to Hendersonville. It's drawn at East Rutherford. The Chase Trojans head up to High Brighton to take on the Panthers this evening. It's Patton at RS Central. Kings Mountain welcomes North Gaston. It's Forest View at Hunter Huss. East Gaston Warriors take on Highland Tech at Highland Tech. The Irwin Warriors head over to Fletcher to take on AC Reynolds. TC Robertson heads to downtown Asheville to take on the Cougars. East Wilkes is at Starmount. It's North Wilkes at Ashe County. Allegany's at West Wilkes. And the Bucking Elks of Elkin are at Wilkes Central. And then our big matchups this evening, as we mentioned, South Point's at Crest. Burns travels to Kramer. North Lincoln's at Newton Conover. It's West Lincoln here, right down the road, taking on Cherryville at Rudisville Stadium. Mountain Island Raptors take on TJ at Thomas Jefferson. Bessemer City's at Lincolnton this evening. Alexander Central travels to St. Stephen's. It's Watauga at Freedom. South Caldwell travels to McDowell. Mooresville's at South Iredell. Lake Norman Wildcats are at Statesville. And the Davie County War Eagles head to North Iredell. Those are our matchups.
All right, yeah. Excuse me. All right, guys, I'm going to let y'all, for the folks listening at home, we do like to predict these scores and go over some of those. So I'm going to let these guys start into that. Or do y'all have anything for the bottom row, Ken? Or are you ready for the top row? I know you're kind of short-handed tonight. You just ready for top on that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, do that. Don't make me predict the Irwin AC Reynolds game.
Well, we got to do that one. And then we got it ranked down there. I tell you what, everything ranked on the sheet, and then Irwin AC Reynolds. How about that? Because you can see you got two on the bottom of the sheets. If you turn yours over so you can see your rankings.
Oh, bless you.
Your
Thank
rankings
you, sir.
there. So you got one down here, and then do your Asheville Irwin. Then so
okay.
Start there and go there then we'll take a break and do these. Okay, how about that?
Okay, gotcha. Sounds good. So we'll start on the right, and then we'll get to work on these. So we'll do the ones. We'll do the ones on the right here first, here, Ken. So
Okay.
we'll our ranked. Our rank. We'll go from the bottom up. So our first matchup, we've got the Community School of Davidson traveling to take on Lake Norman Charter. So, got much info on either one of these schools this evening? Try and look at their records.
Yeah, I was looking at the record here. This is one that I didn't look at beforehand.
I'm pulling them up right now. Let's check and see what we've got here.
My initial thoughts would, Lake Norman at home. Initial thoughts would go with Lake Norman, but what do you got on the records there?
Look at right now, Community School of Davidson's 2-3 on the year. They've won their last two. They actually shut out West Stokes 35-0, and then they took on. Trying to see who that. Well, my phone just glitched on me, but
Lake Norman is 3-3.
Okay, so Lake Norman's 3-3. I'm trying to see if they've got any mutual matchups here.
And
Christ the King is so. Community School of Davidson defeated Christ the King last week, and so they've won their last two, and then this evening again taking on Lake Norman Charter. I was trying to see if I saw any like-minded matchups with Lake Norman Charter who they had beat. Pretty even matchups here with what you see. I feel like it's kind of a toss-up. We see with their rankings and see with their records as well. I'd want to want to say that I'm like you, Ken. I can tend to lean towards the home team on this. I want to say Lake Norman Charters might pull out the victory on this one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Lake Norman. I'll put a score on this. I think it's going to be a close game. I'll say 21-20.
So, yeah, so 3-3, they're 500. The victories that they have that Lake Norman Charter has, they've defeated Forest View 42-28. Corvian Community, they shut out 35-0. Excuse me.
They lost.
Yeah, they lost those two games. Yeah. Let me get back there. I'm having some glitching up. Yeah, I'm gonna tend to lean with the late, like you said, with the Lake Norman Charter. I'm gonna go with the home team here to see if they can pull out the victory against Community School of Davidson. So this evening, moving on up, and we'll head up to the top row on the right-hand side. Maiden travels to take on the Red Tornadoes of Hickory.
Wow, this is a big matchup in the Western Foothills. Both of these teams at the top of the conference with East Lincoln 4-0 records in the conference. Both of them 5-1 overall. Hickory ranked 5th in a power poll. Maiden ranked 6th. You can't get much closer than that.
No, this is a heavy duty matchup, right? What we got this evening.
Hickory, who we know was strong last year, they lost a lot of seniors, but they reloaded. They reloaded. Lost a close game to South Point at South Point, first game of the season. Since that time, they won 5 in a row and have outscored their opponents 253-34.
Yeah, there you go.
They're led by quarterback Maddox McCree, who's completed 75% of his passes for 7 touchdowns and no interceptions. They got a running back, Jaheim Jenkins, who scored 17 touchdowns while averaging over 100 yards per game. Maiden only got 1 loss on the season. That was a 1-point loss to AC Reynolds. Their defense has been coming along. They've shut out their last 3 opponents they played. Yeah. They're led by quarterback Grant Loring, who's passed for over 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns and has rushed for 3 more touchdowns. Running back Shannon Wiggett has scored 12 touchdowns. He's averaging over 100 yards per game. Wow, this is going to be a tight game, but a lot of points I think is going to be put on the board. But I'm going to go with Hickory, the home team in this one. I'm going to say Hickory 35-24.
I have a hard time picking against the Hickory at home as well. I think this is going to be might very well, other than obviously South Point, might be the best matchup or the best team they've faced all year so far. I'm going to stick with the Red Tornadoes to win this. I think they're you look at Maiden. Maiden's was very, very close to losing their opening game against Lincolnton. Now, Lincoln is no slouch. We've seen they've been able to perform as well. And again, the one loss that Maiden has is against AC Reynolds. I think losing to South Point to me is at South Point's more impressive than the loss at AC Reynolds. So I'm going to lean towards the Red Tornadoes to win that one. All right, number 22, Bandies in our PowerPoint standings. Number 22, Bandies travels to Fred T. Ford, number 28 this evening. Kenny, what you got?
Well, Bandies and Ford both coming in with 2-3 records on the season. Bandies led by Brady Sweat, who's passed for over 1,100 yards and 12 touchdowns. Also had 7 rushing touchdowns. Ford, the last game they played against Maiden, they got beat 47-0. I think, Bandies with a tough loss to Newton Conover was sort of an upset last week by 1 point. But I think Bandies playing at playing on the road against Ford will still pull this one out. I've got Bandies winning at 28-14.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Bandies on this one too. Who predicted that game last week against Bandies, by the way, Ken?
It wasn't me.
I think I might. I think you and Brian both picked against me on that one. I believe our esteemed boss Kevin might have been laughing about me down the hall when I picked that game. So I've got to wear that one with pride. But no, I'm going to go with Bandies on this one to bounce back, and they defeat Ford this evening. All right, we got East Lincoln traveling to West Iredell. East Lincoln, number 2 in our standings. This was the second of our 3 top 10 in our PowerPoint standings matchups this evening. Number 2, East Lincoln travels to number 9, West Iredell.
Well, East Lincoln, who's been just a juggernaut all year, putting up video game things on offense. Grant Lawless, their quarterback that's understand going to Wake Forest, he's passed for over 1,600 yards in 6 games, 23 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions, and by the way, has rushed for 7 more touchdowns. His favorite receiver, Jackson Dollar, has caught 12 of those touchdown passes. They'll be getting to West Iredell, who was shut out by Maiden 21-0 for their first loss last week. But on the season, Chip, they've only given up 27 points.
Yeah.
They have a good defense. I did a little bit of research. They forced 10 turnovers and had an amazing 55 tackles for loss on the season. But they'll be tested by this East Lincoln team, and I think East Lincoln will be too much for them. I've got East Lincoln winning this one 49-14.
I'm looking at this right now. Okay, I don't see the score breakdown. They gave up 6 points to North Iredell, and I don't know if that's a touchdown and they missed the extra point, or if that's 2 field goals. But if that's not a touchdown, they've not given up a touchdown this year. From what I see.
Well, last week they did against Maiden.
Okay, that's right. The Maiden
first
was
loss was 21.
Yeah. Up to, I'm sorry,
but
up
they,
to the loss to Maiden. That's
but they
right.
did hold Maiden to 21, which is pretty
still
good.
After what you've seen what Maiden do this year. That's exactly right. So no, this could be one of those unstoppable forces meeting an immovable object with the offensive East Lincoln going up against the defensive West Iredell. You tend to you look at what that defense has done and being at home. This will be far and away. I think this is East Lincoln's biggest challenge. I'll be honest with you, Kenny. I think I'm gonna stick with the home team, and the defense is gonna be jacked up. I'm gonna go with West Iredell for the upset on this one. I'm gonna go with the Warriors. Something in my guts tell me to go with that. So I'm gonna go with the Warriors to defeat East Lincoln this evening. We got East Burke traveling to West Caldwell to take on the West Caldwell Warriors. Kenny, what's your take on this?
Both these teams are 1-4. East Burke's only win was against Patton, 34-0 recently. West Caldwell only win was against Avery County, a team not very good, 26-20. This one could go either way. I think East Burke's defense, looking at some of the scores of their games, may be a little better. I'm going to go with the Viston team on this one. I'm going to go with East Burke to win this one, 21-14.
Yeah, looking at West Caldwell's matchups, they've given up. So they gave up 62 to South Caldwell. They did beat Avery County 26-20. Lost to Mountain Island Charlotte 49-22. They gave up 59 points to Chase. Now they only gave up. I say only. They only gave up 30 points to East Rutherford last week.
Yeah, that looked pretty impressive.
Anytime, and again, I know they didn't score, but anytime you only give up 30 points to Philip Russ's team this year, that speaks highly of your defense. I tell you what, I'm gonna go with the West team on this. We've got 2 straight matchups: East versus West, East Lincoln versus West Iredell, and then East Burke versus West Caldwell is what we're talking about. I'm gonna go with the West team again. I'm gonna stick with West Caldwell at home. I think they're going to pull out the victory over East Burke this evening. All right. Next, we've got Lincoln Charter heading on to take on Langtree Prep this evening. What's the word from Lincoln County with Lincoln Charter taking on Langtree Prep, Kenny?
Well, Lincoln Charter took it on the nose big time last week against Corvion, and hearing David Potter talk about how many injuries Lincoln County had, it sort of concerns me in this game. But looking at the scores and the records, Langtree's coming in 1-4 record. Lincoln Charter in with a 2-4 record. We know quarterback Braden Walden from Lincoln Charter was not injured, so he's still playing. He's passed for over 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns so far, and 4 rushing touchdowns. Langtree's led by quarterback Easton Rochek, who's thrown for almost 800 yards and 7 touchdowns. I was thinking I'm going to go with Lincoln Charter, but I got a feeling Langtree could win this one if Lincoln Charter still got a lot of injuries.
Yeah, y'all have heard me sing the praises of Braden Walden all season long. I have a hard time picking against him. He's an impressive young player, and think he's doing the right thing. He's playing good. Now, can they give him the protection as you're talking about, Kenny, with all the injuries they've got? I don't know exactly how many of those are up front.
And how many are maybe be back this week? I don't know. I just knew there was a lot out last week.
Yeah. So you think Langtree Prep only 1-4. I feel like Lincoln Charter, they're doing the right things, and if they're not too undermanned or not too exhausted by the fourth quarter, I'm gonna pick the Eagles to pull this one out against Langtree Prep this evening. And then we got Corvian Community, our third-ranked team, heading to Pine Lake Prep. I tend to think we're both going to lean Corvian on this one, Kenny, but you tell me what you think.
Corvian, went to the championship game last year before losing to Tarboro. They just reloading again. They're leading that Catawba Shores conference, and Langtree's 1-4 on the season. I think Corvian doesn't have any problems here. I've got Corvian winning 35-7.
Yeah, I'm going to go Corvian Community to pull this one out against Pine Lake Prep as well. I think they're going to travel on, continue their impressive season. Again, they're 4-1 on the year. They got in Kevin's in our PowerPoint standings, they've got 20 PowerPoints, third ranked, and they're behind Ashbrook and East Lincoln. That's got to say something right there. And you're in front of South Point, Hickory, Maiden, and Crest.
Yeah,
right up there. So that speaks highly of Corvian. They look like they're gearing up for another good run this year. I'm going to go with the Cardinals to win as well. All right, that does it for our right row. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll come down with a few more games to break down. Here, you're listening to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Before you buy insurance, call and compare at Witherspoon Insurance in Shelby, featuring names like Progressive, National General, and State Auto. They do it all. Auto, home, life, health, commercial, motorcycle, RVs, golf carts, and indemnity bonds with low down payments. Call 704-480-9595 or drop by their office at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, right across from First Baptist Church. Serving Cleveland County since 1986, online at WitherspoonInsurance.com. The next hour of music is being brought to you by TAC, the Transportation Administration of Cleveland County. Ride free by calling 704-482-6465. Again, ride free by calling 704-482-6465. For TAC, the Transportation Administration of Cleveland County. Bringing you this hour of true oldies on The Boss. Sandy's Country Christmas Crafts and Variety is proud to be a sponsor of the 2025 Cleveland County Fair. Check out their fair booth in Dorton Hall and get a free gift from them when you're at their booth. Go visit their store, 2536 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. They have new items arriving daily. Fall decorations and craft supplies, Halloween decorations, silk flowers, wreaths, ribbons, Raleigh skin balms, local honey, baking supplies, and more. Sandy's Country Christmas is open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6, so go check them out. Whiskers, Nails, and Puppy Dog Tails congratulates the Cleveland County Fair on their 101st anniversary and wishes them many more active fair years. Whiskers, Nails, and Puppy Dog Tails, 336 Washburn Switch Road in Shelby, provides 5-star full-service grooming and boarding for your beloved dogs and cats. And they have consistently been voted best in Cleveland County for pet boarding. A Paul Mitchell and Pet Head Salon, they offer special financial packages, mud treatment, and more. And they offer retail dog and cat accessories and treats. Owner Amber Crawford invites you to let them pamper your pets. Your pets will love it. Check them out on Facebook or call 704-484-2828. For all of your janitorial and cleaning supplies and disposable paper products, see Webb Chemical and Paper Company. You'll find great prices, great service, and they offer products in bulk. Family owned and operated for over 47 years. Their friendly, helpful staff will assist you with all your product needs. Webb Chemical and Paper Company, conveniently located at 2500 West Dixon Boulevard, Highway 74 West in Shelby. Stop by and see them. Call 704-482-4331. Check them out on the web at webchemicalandpaper.com. At Pet Haven Cemetery and Crematory in Cherryville, they understand that your pet is also a member of your family. Their goal is to guide you with their services so you'll be able to honor your pet for the unconditional love that they provided to you over the years. Pet Haven Cemetery and Crematory will strive to make this process suitable to your needs and family. Visit our booth at this year's Cleveland County Fair in the Goforth Hall or give us a call at 704-435-8686. online at pethavencemetery.com.
It's the Yamaha Wave Runner Best of Show sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Come check out wet summer fun with a new Yamaha Wave Runner and save up to $2,500 on select off-road Kawasaki models and get up to $750 in bonus bucks on a new Honda. Take up to $2,500 off remaining 2024 Honda models. And don't miss the CF Moto Rev and Ride sales event with 1.99% APR financing or up to $1,500 in rebates on select models at Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
All right, 626, and for the final time today, let's go out and see the guys at the Cleveland County Fair.
All right, that's right. This will be our final report for today. We'll be back at 3 o'clock tomorrow. But we'll let you know, we're going to talk about one of our food sponsors right off the bat. We've been saying wings and things, and in reality, it's Georgia's Mac Shack, although it says wings and things on the front of the building. Because the girl just come out here, she said it's Georgia's Mac Shack. And they've got the jumbo beef hot dogs, barbecue meaty chicken tenders, fried and Cajun shrimp, chicken shrimp, 100% Angus burgers, shrimp and grits. I think Callan had some of those the other day. Veggie trays, Georgia mac and cheese, sweet and hot chili. They've got wings, buffalo barbecue, mild bourbon, garlic, Parmesan, hot, and teriyaki. She also said they had homemade pound cake and sweet potato pie custard. And that's right, they are from Shelby. And they're having some specials today. They've got hot dogs 2 for $6, baskets for $7, and they've got burgers, a single for $7, a basket for $10, double for $9, and a double basket for $12. So that's one of our food sponsors, and it's called Georgia Mac Shack. That's right. So Dennis is going to let us know what's going on tonight and talk about some of our sponsors before we come back to the studio.
I'll be happy to, Ron, because they pay the bills. We've got Okies Tire and Recapping at 800 West Warren Street in Shelby. Everybody knows where Okies is at. We've got Clay Barnett Funeral Home, 1401 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. I heard they got a good layaway plan, Ron. And we've got Substation 2 and 811 South Lafayette Street in Shelby. Affordable Paint and Body Shop, 2230 Huey Church Road in Shelby. Pet Haven at 3408 Tryon Courthouse Road in Cherryville. They also are in Goforth Hall. Parker Farm Service at 110 Bessie Drive in Kings Mountain, and go over there and see Mr. Guffey. He'll fix you up with a new tractor. Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. They also sponsor our post-game show, so tune in tonight and you'll hear more about Full Throttle Power Sports. Now, we've got some activities going on out here at the fair today. Of course, the gates are open 3 to 11. We've got the exhibit hall open from 3 till 10. We've got the midway hours from 4 till 11. We've got the UBU band that you can hear in the background here. They'll be playing tonight at 6 and 8. We've got the Majestic Spectacular Thrill Show down by Gate 14 at 6:30 and 9. We've got the Magic of Lance Guilford and Company down near Gate 14, 5:30, 7 o'clock, and 8:30. We've got KP's In Flight. That's adjacent to Gate 14. That's the dogs catching frisbees. If you hadn't seen that, you ought to check it out. And we've got Ag Monsters chainsaw art behind Goforth Hall. He's here all week. Come by and see what he can do with a chainsaw. Maybe you can hire him to cut up some of them trees that got blowed down back during the storm too. But we've enjoyed this afternoon at the fair. This is going to be our last report. We're going to send you back to the studio and the boys over on the pregame show. Ron?
All right, thank you guys, and you have a good dinner tonight. One of those restaurants there, Georgia Max. There we go. We're gonna have a good dinner here in a little bit. We're getting ready to chow down in a little bit on some Pete's Fish Box. The fish is on the way, so JP's going to get that fish. All right, we're going to send it back to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mr. Hastings. Yes, sir. And make sure JP don't eat any of that before he gets into the studio. Can we do that? He say I make no promises. So, all right. Well, welcome back once again to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Kevin Hastings on with Ken Link. I'm Chip Carter. Thanks for joining us and tuning in. We're getting closer and closer to kickoff time. We are looking at some of our pregame predictions for teams, and we'll run down. We just did the far right. We were on the upper rows. Those of you listening or tuning in or watching online, you can see the game. When we put the listing of games back up, you'll see we've got a top row of games. Thank you, Kevin. And got a top row of games and a bottom row of games. The top row of games, you can see Ken and I there in the middle of your screen. And those small views, Ken, give everybody a wave. There you go. Hey, everybody. So the games up above us. We also had a couple of select games that we're predicting underneath that. So that we'll mention, and we'll get to that second one underneath there in just a second. Right now, we're in that top middle portion, those 6 games in the top middle. And we'll go from top bottom here, Ken. So our first matchup, we've got drawn heading to Rutherford County to take on Philip Russ and the East Rutherford Cavaliers.
Well, Cavaliers have been rolling since their first loss, close loss to Asheville early in the season.
At Asheville.
Yeah. And so since then, they've been rolling and drawn 0-5 on the season. I think this is going to be another big win for the Cavaliers. I've got them winning 42-14.
Yeah, I think with the experience they've got at the skill positions quarterback and with the good, well-coached team, Drawn just doesn't seem to have it this year. East Rutherford's going to defend that home turf, and they're going to win this evening. I picked the Cavaliers as well. Staying with the Rutherford County team, Chase heads out of the county to take on the Panthers of High Brighton. Kenny, tell me what your thoughts are.
Well, on this one, High Brighton 4-1 on the season. Their only loss was to that good East Rutherford team by 9 points. They're led by quarterback Elan Lippert, who's passed for 975 yards and 9 touchdowns and actually scored 7 more touchdowns on the ground. Running back D.K. Mitchell has also scored 9 touchdowns as their best rusher. They'll be playing a chase squad. Junior quarterback Daniel Tipton's passed for 1,300 yards and 12 touchdowns. Sophomore Keontae Wingo has over 100 yards rushing per game, 6 touchdowns. They had a disappointing loss to RS Central last week as RS beat them pretty bad. In fact, I missed that one very badly on that pick. But tonight, I'm going to go with High Brighton, and I think High Brighton wins this one. Got a score here somewhere.
We got High Brighton winning this game, though.
42-14.
There you go. Okay, 42-14. Yeah, I want to agree with you, Ken. I think High Brighton, I hate to say it for Chase, but I think High Brighton's going to defend their home turf again this evening. The only loss they had, again, was a close one, not quite a one-score loss to a very talented, offensively minded East Rutherford team. It was at East Rutherford, so yeah, I tend to think that High Brighton's going to. I think their strength of schedule looks a little stouter than what Chase has taken on this year. And again, Chase, I was surprised Chase didn't put up more of a fight against RS last week. It just seemed RS kind of ran away with that one. But yeah, I'm gonna pick the Panthers to win this one against Chase this evening. Moving down the list, speaking of RS Central, they welcome Patton to the
Patton
campus.
got their first win last week.
Yep.
Overdrawn. But playing on the road against RS Central, I look for RS Central to win this one 35-7.
Yeah, I think RS, they showed me something last week. That was an impressive. I did not think that they were going to win that one as handily as they did. They've won, that's 2 straight now. They defeated Drawn as well back on September 19th. And so looking at Patton, 1-4, the only team they have defeated this year, it looks like, if I can see. Now they've got a decent schedule. They've lost, Freedom is one of those losses. Freedom's put up a lot of points this year, but again, Drawn as the one team that they've defeated. I tend to think the Hilltoppers are gonna pull out the victory against Patton. So that's 3 straight home teams that we've got on this row so far. Moving on down, we come into Cleveland County. North Gaston travels over to Kings Mountain to take on the Mountaineers. Kenny, what do you think about this one?
Well, North Gaston's only win has come against East Gaston in a close game. Kings Mountain led by sophomore quarterback K.J. Bell and wide receiver tight end William Texvon, who is 6'4", 230, and they got a balanced rushing attack. I think they'll have no problem with East Gaston. I see Kings Mountain winning this one 42-7.
Yeah, I think Kings Mountain, the only loss they have is a one-score loss at Charlotte Catholic, which is a pretty stout home field advantage in and of itself. I'm going to agree with you. Kings Mountain wins this game this evening against the Wildcats. All right, that's 4 straight home teams that we've picked so far, King. Let's see. Forest View heads over to take on the Huskies of Hunter Huss.
Well, Huss is coming off a big loss to South Point last week, but they have a rushing attack by committee led by running back Quincy Fortenberry. Forest View is 2-4, is coming off a big loss to Crest last week. I'm going to continue with the home team streak here, as I'm going to go with Hunter Huss to win this one 28-21 in a close game.
Yeah, I think the victories that Huss has this year or so far just look more impressive than the couple that Forest View's been able to tack on. So I tend to agree with you. I think the Huskies are going to defend home turf and home field, and they'll pull out the win. So, all right, we might buck our trend after this here, Kenny. The next matchup, we've got East Gaston traveling to Highland Tech this evening. What are your thoughts about this one?
Yeah, East Gaston got their first win last week, 42-12 over Bessemer City, and they'll get another one tonight, Chip, as they go to Highland, who just undermanned there. So I've got East Gaston winning this one as well.
Yeah, looking at the losses, so they got North Gaston. They lost by a touchdown. This is East Gaston I'm talking about, and then you got Forest View defeated them 26-7. Burns and Lincoln have both shut them out. And Bessemer City did lose. They went down, or Bessemer City went down to them last week for East Gaston to get their first win. I really want to pick Highland Tech in this one to get their first victory of the year, especially at home. And I think they're going to give East Gaston a scare, and I wouldn't even be surprised if maybe this one goes into overtime. But I'm going to pick with East Gaston Warriors to pull out the victory at Highland Tech this evening. All right, we got one more game. We're going to just go underneath Kenny and I, right? The game right underneath Ken's view, as Kevin so poetically wanted me to mention. AC Reynolds and Fletcher welcomes my Clyde A. Irwin Warriors this evening. Ken, I'll take the lead on this one. So AC Reynolds, they've had some impressive wins. They squeaked out that 1-point victory against Maiden. That's obviously something. But last week, their last game, as both of these teams come off a bye week, they lost 70-20 to Freedom.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So now Irwin's only won. They're 1-4. They lost a one score game to West Henderson, opened the season up. Lost to Mountain Heritage 30-15. Brevard beat them convincingly 37-14. They did squeak out a win against Hendersonville at Hendersonville 34-33. And then 2 weeks ago they lost to Watauga 49-14. Kenny, call me biased if you want to, but I think that win against Hendersonville, and I'm a little suspect. Other than the maiden victory is obviously impressive. I think what AC Reynolds did is really good. I think Irwin's rounded into form. Obviously, Watauga is a stout competition for them. But I think the victory in Hendersonville gave them a taste of victory. I'm picking my Irwin Warriors to sneak in to Fletcher and pull off the upset against the Rockets this evening.
Well, I'll respect your analysis, but I'll tell you what, it sounds like it's going to be probably a competitive game. I'm going to go with the home team. I'll go with AC Reynolds.
All right, there we go. We got that split 50-50 on that game. All right, that's our center row. When we come back, we will give you the breakdown and analysis predictions of our marquee games that are broadcast and videoed this evening. Our last row of games. We've got one more matchup of top 10 teams that we will go. We'll save that the best for last, I guess, Kenny. You're listening to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show here on KTC Broadcasting. We'll be right back.
Before you buy insurance, call and compare at Witherspoon Insurance in Shelby, featuring names like Progressive, National General, and State Auto. They do it all. Auto, home, life, health, commercial, motorcycle, RVs, golf carts, and indemnity bonds with low down payments. Call 704-480-9595 or drop by their office at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, right across from First Baptist Church. Serving Cleveland County since 1986. Online at WitherspoonInsurance.com.
4 generations. Now think about that. 4 generations of serving our area, providing understanding, care, and comfort to help you through a difficult time. That's Cecil M. Burton Funeral Home and Crematory. That's over 90 years of experience, knowledge, and tradition. Their staff takes pride in the professionalism your family will receive. Cecil M. Burton Funeral Home and Crematory, 106 Cherryville Road in Shelby. Online at cecilmburtonfuneralhome.com. Call 704-480-8383. Yes, Cleveland County, there is a local Ford dealer in our area that wants to be your go-to for your next Ford, and that's Legendary Ford in Forest City. First of all, Legendary Ford in Forest City is locally owned and operated by folks that live right here. Plus, they offer the best in service. You get service after the sale. Locals serving local folks just like you. That's Legendary Ford, 565 Oak Street in Forest City. Online at legendaryford.com.
Sizzleman Son Paint and Body Shop, a local family-owned business, is proud to salute the 101st Cleveland County Fair. Located at 227 Shelby Road, Kings Mountain, they offer auto and truck body repair and painting, motorcycle refinishing, and dent removal. They're known for quality work, their experienced staff, and their dedication to customers. In their own words, we work for our customers, not for the insurance companies. We have your best interest in mind. Call 704-730-0050. Sizzleman Son Paint and Body Shop. In their 28th year in business, they're there when you need them. If you're needing fence installation, call Cowgirl Fence Company. Cowgirl Fence Company is a new woman-owned company with over 30 years of family experience. They offer fence installation of all types of fence products, including vinyl, wood, chain link, and aluminum. They also stain, clean, and do fence repairs. Cowgirl Fence Company serves Cleveland, Gaston, Mecklenburg, Lincoln, Iredell, and other surrounding counties. Just call 980-925-7805. That's 980-925-7805 for Cowgirl Fence Company.
It's the 101st Cleveland County Fair, September 25th through October 5th. Plan now to bring the family out for a big night of fun. Entertainment includes the Majestic Spectacular Thrill Show, Canines in Flight, the high-flying All-American Frisbee Dogs, the Magic of Lance Gifford, Act Monsters Chainsaw Art, and the Demolition Derby. And Right Off for Rides will be back with over 40 exciting rides. And, of course, the many food vendors, games, livestock, and other attractions. The 101st Cleveland County Fair, September 25th through October 5th. Y'all come. It'll be fun. Before the big game, head to the Substation 2 for the best subs in town. And they're local folks just like you, serving Shelby and Cleveland County since 1978. The subs are so good at the Substation 2. And now delivery is available by Uber Eats and DoorDash. Just call 704-482-1220. Again, 704-482-1220. From subs to salads and more, it's the Substation 2, 611 South Lafayette Street in Shelby. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 8:30. That's the Substation 2 in Shelby. If you've been in the market for a carport, now is the time. Protect your vehicles with a new carport from Sheila Sheds in Cherryville or in Shelby. You can even rent to own your new carport. Come in for all the details and check out the sizes. You'll find carports, horse barns, garages, residential and commercial buildings. Located at 2104 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, 2261 Lincoln Highway 150 West in Cherryville. In Shelby, call 704-406-9185. And in Cherryville, call 704-802-4610. They're open 9 to 5, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 10 to 2 on Saturday. Closed Sunday and Wednesday. Like them on Facebook, too. All right, now back to more of the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show.
Can I hear myself? There we go. Kenny, can you make sure you can hear me there?
I can hear you fine.
Welcome back. All right. Yes, Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Chip Carter along with Ken Link. Kevin Hastings in the house as well. We've got our last batch of games that we're going to run through here real quick and see what we've got. All right. Let me see if I can. Well, we'll go ahead. Kevin's got the games flipping through, or the broadcast schedule that we've got, so we'll make sure and keep that up on the screen for folks that are tuning in and watching us online. But giving you an idea, or actually, well, he had it up. Let me switch it back over real quick. There we go. Switch it back over. There we go. So those are our games. So we did the top right. We did the top middle. Now we're going to do the games we've either got broadcast or we'll have it video on for the next for the on the left side. These are our last batch of games as we get ready. As it's almost football time. We're running out of time here. So, Ken, we'll go from the bottom up here. We're going to start with Bessemer City traveling to Lincolnton. I think I know which direction you and I are both going to lean on this one. Give me kind of your analysis on this.
Yeah, Lincoln has won 5 straight since that close loss to Maiden the first game of the season, and they'll make it 6 in a row against Bessemer City, who's 1-5 on the season. Starting with the second half against Burns, Lincoln defense has only given up 7 points in the last 10 quarters, and their offense has been scoring a lot of points as well. So Lincoln will roll in this one 42-7 as they try to get ready for a big matchup against Shelby next week.
Yep. All righty. Good deal. So I agree with you. I think Lincoln is going to pull this one out. Bessemer City's they've had opened the year up with a win, but they just struggled to get back in the win column the rest of the year. They've faced some decent competition as well, but Lincoln's decent competition, so I think it's going to be a challenge for the Yellow Jackets this evening. Lincoln's just going to pull out the win. All right, Mountain Island Raptors head over to Rutherford County to take on the Griffins of Thomas Jefferson. Kenny, you done any research or your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, my thoughts on this one is it's a coin flip, folks. Thomas Jefferson 3-2 on the season. They lost to North Stanley by 17 last week. North Stanley's a good team, undefeated team in our power poll. Mountain Island lost to North Stanley when they played them by 30.
Yep.
Thomas Jefferson is led by quarterback Max Sutton, who leads them in passing and rushing. Mountain Island Charter 2 and 3 is led by quarterback Andre Ramsewer and running back Meyer Gilchrist, but I think it's a close game. I'm going to go with Thomas Jefferson 21-20.
This looks like a good matchup, Ken. You've got both of these teams lost to North Stanley pretty handily. Both of these teams beat Albemarle.
Yep.
So pretty even matchup here. And in that situation, I'm going to go with the local home team. I'm going to pick Thomas Jefferson to defend their turf, and they're going to pick up the win this evening. All right. Right down the road, not 5 minutes away, Rudersville Stadium, Cherryville hosts Terry Reinhardt's West Lincoln Rebels this evening. Give me the news from Lincoln County, Ken.
Well, West Lincoln, with that ground attack, they're not going to throw it. And that ground attack, they used an option, and T.J. Stratford, Gray Ponder, and Aiden Puckett all were averaging around 100 yards per rushing a game. And they'll go against Cherryville team, whose offense is led by Jackson Hebner and Javarius McInerney. But Cherryville, I think, will put some points up, but I don't think they can their defense will keep West Lincoln off the board enough. I got West Lincoln winning at 35-21.
Yeah, you've got 2 and 3 versus 3 and 2, but I really think West Lincoln, the competition that West Lincoln's played, obviously is a little bit stouter at this point in the year than what Cherryville has faced. And looking at the 2 victories, that West Lincoln's victories, Lincoln Charter, Bessemer City, and then Cherryville's 3 wins. North Stokes, Owen. Now they pulled out a good game against Owen. Now those 2 games at the beginning of the year, the big blowout against North Stokes, 68-8, and Owen, 28-27. Those are impressive wins. Now Highland Tech 35-0. Kind of expect that,
Mm-hmm.
but no, that's those 2 wins are impressive. I do think that after last week, I think in Burns, the loss to Burns, West Lincoln's going to be a little amped up, and I agree with you. With T.J. Stratford and Gray Ponder, for them it comes down to can they control the trenches. If they can move the defensive line, if they can control that front 7, then they can exert their will. They're going to be able to do what they want to do on the ground, and they're going to control the tempo of the game. They're going to win the game. If Chase can get some penetration and can keep their offensive line in check, watch out for the Ironman this evening. We just have to wait and see. One key note, based on what Brian Free has shared the past couple of weeks, don't know if hopefully Jackson Hebner's healthy, because he's been out the past couple of weeks, if I remember correctly. Now you've got, again, Various McElhaney they've still got good skill players there as well. That and I'm blanking on one of the young men's names that Brian and I talk about quite frequently as well. That's
Whitworth, probably.
Najee Whitworth, yes, thank you. That number 20, I believe he's number 20. So he is a weapon that has been. They've really had a hard time getting him consistently in a groove and get him involved and in a rhythm on offense. If he gets loose, watch out. I do think Cherryville will make this a scary, close game, but I do pick the West Lincoln Rebels to pull out the victory. All right, and now next we've got North Lincoln traveling up to Newton Conover, our 18th ranked team in our Power Points standings.
These are two teams sort of going in different directions. Newton Conover with the upset win last week against Bandy's. They're 3-2 on the season. They're led by quarterback Camden Izzard and running back Jeremiah Pope. Their two losses were to the strong teams in that conference, East Lincoln and Hickory. North Lincoln, on the other hand, is struggling. Their defense is they've got some challenges, and then offensively they lost their starting quarterback, and that option offense is not running very well with the substitutes they got in there. So I look for Newton Conover to roll in this one. I've got Newton Conover winning this one 35-21.
I agree with you. North Lincoln just doesn't have, and again, new coaching staff, lost a lot of their skill position players. Agie's just not had the support he's needed, I don't think, to really break out this year. It's been a bit of a slog for North Lincoln this year, and I agree with you. Newton Conover seems to be trending in the right direction. The only two losses they have, a lot of teams, most teams in this area would lose to East Lincoln and Hickory. So, and again, pulled out a close game at Bandy's last week that a lot of people didn't think that they were going to win.
Oh yeah, that's an upset.
Yeah. So I'm going to pick the Red Devils to win at home against the Knights. All righty, we've got Burns traveling to Stuart Kramer this evening. Kenny, what's your thoughts?
This is another one that's almost like a toss-up.
Yeah.
Burns, led by running back Mac Davis, leads them in rushing and defense. And they got some production last week in the passing game with Joanne Ussery making some plays after completing short passes.
Yep.
They're 3-3 on the season, but they played a very tough schedule. Kramer, 4-1. Coming off the loss last week, but they're led by quarterback Cleve Phillips, running back Dominique Moncorpo, and their tight end Quato Hawkins, 6'4", 252.
Easy for you to say.
And I understand against not Hickory, against Shelby last week, they just threw it up to him. He'd go get it because he was so big. But they'll play Burns pretty tough, and Burns, I'm not sure if they can handle that passing game. Phillips is a little bit like the Lynch kid from Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
He's not very big, but he's a quick quarterback and makes things happen. So I think this is a tough game. I'm going to go with Burns 28-24, but it could go the other way.
Oh, yeah. You look at what they've done. Both played Bessemer City, both beat Bessemer City, but the score is very similar. Bessemer City, Burns shut them out 50-0. Stuart Kramer beat him 51-6. So I mean, there you go. I think this will be a very good game. This might end up being the game of the night. Honestly, just in terms of how competitive it is. I think Stuart Kramer, they are up and coming. They've shown that they're impressive. I just have a hard time. I think Burns is finding their footing this year. They're kind of figuring out.
Burns played a tough schedule, but they're 3-3. They feel like they need to win this game tonight.
Yes.
For seeding in the playoffs and all that kind of thing.
It could be a good statement game at Kramer as well.
Yeah.
So I think Burns is finding their footing. I think they're figuring out what's going to work for them. If Kramer's, I agree with you, Ken. If Kramer's passing game gets loose, and they're able to consistently complete some passes down the field, Burns is going to have a hard time winning this game tonight. I think Burns is going to do just enough to squeak out the win. I'm going to pick the Bulldogs as well against Kramer. All right, our last game to pick, a top 10 in our Power Points standings. Number 4 South Point travels to number 7 Crest. Ken, what's your thoughts?
Wow, this is another big game. I tell you what, if you don't think this is a tough conference in the Big South, unbelievable.
Where is Dennis Davis to say this is a slobber knocker?
Oh my God! But Crest 4-1, led by quarterback Eli Hamrick, coming off a lopsided win last week over Forest View. We know their only loss on the season was to Weddington. Always a power.
Yep.
South Point, have that triple option led by quarterback Patrick Blee and running back Javion Pless, coming off a lopsided win over Hunter Huss last week. Mm-hmm. And their only loss was to Ashbrook by a touchdown. So they can compete with Crest. And I think that option's hard to handle, but I think Crest will do enough to win it. I've got Crest winning 28-21 in another really good game.
This is not Belmont. They get no score advantage here. Everybody talks about. No, they're traveling into Cleveland County. They're traveling to Crest. They're taking on the Chargers. Crest, again, Weddington might be one of the most stout teams to take on in the state. This is going to be tough, and this game's been circled for a long time for both of these teams. This could end up being a tight game. It could end up being overtime. Could end up being the last team with the ball wins very easily. I think Crest defense is going to be disciplined. They're going to stay where they're supposed to be. I'm going to pick the Chargers to defend their home field, and they're going to win against South Point this evening. So, all right, well, those are our thoughts. Those are our picks. We are wrapping up the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Fans, buckle up. It is Friday night football time. We'll be right back. We'll start getting you queued in to your local broadcast, and then we'll get started with the Red Zone shortly thereafter. For Kevin Hastings and Ken Link, I'm Chip Carter. Thanks for tuning in to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. We'll start the Red Zone here shortly. You're listening to KTC Broadcasting.
Before you buy insurance, call and compare at Witherspoon Insurance in Shelby, featuring names like Progressive, National General, and State Auto. They do it all. Auto, home, life, health, commercial, motorcycle, RVs, golf carts, and indemnity bonds with low down payments. Call 704-480-9595 or drop by their office at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, right across from First Baptist Church. Serving Cleveland County since 1986. Online at WitherspoonInsurance.com.
Leaf season is here. Don't wait. It's time to get leaf protection with one call to Gutter Guys. Remember, clogged gutters on your home can cause costly damage. Prevent it with a call to Gutter Guys in Kings Mountain. Remember, Gutter Guys for seamless gutters, gutter cleaning, metal and shingle roofing, commercial flat roofing, and storm damage repair. Call 704-879-4384. Again, 704-879-4384. For Gutter Guys, serving the area since 2003. Online at GutterGuysConstruction.com.
The next hour of music is being brought to you by TAC, the Transportation Administration of Cleveland County. Ride free by calling 704-482-6465. Again, ride free by calling 704-482-6465. For TAC, the Transportation Administration of Cleveland County. Bringing you this hour of true oldies on The Boss.
Cleveland Funeral Services in Shelby is proud to serve the people of Shelby and the surrounding communities with traditional funerals, memorials, celebrations of life, cremations, prestige collections, and grief counseling services. Managed by veteran Dean Vincent, who is proud to serve our country and proud to serve you in your time of need. Cleveland Funeral Services, 2518 West Dixon Boulevard, Highway 74 West in Shelby. Online at clevelandfuneralservices.com.
Help! Help!